resistors of each 1 microfarads. So 33 kilo ohm was color code is orange, orange, orange. Then you require 56 kilo ohms, then 4.7 kilo ohms and 5.6 kilo ohms, and also the 10 kilo ohm which is used as a load resistor, right? So you know how to identify the terminals. So you have a notch. So near to the notch it is emitter, middle one will be the base, and the last one will be collector. So when you are collecting it into the circuit, you'll have to connect it properly, emitter, base and collector, like, okay. So before we start with the experiment, what we can do is take your multimeter, connect it to 20 volts range, then fix the voltage, DC voltage, that is plus VCC value to 12 volts. It's already showing some value. Now I'll change it to 12 volts. So keep it to exact 12 volts. Right? So around 12.6 it is now. So fine. So after this, so what you can do, connect plus VCC to the top rail of your breadboard and minus P to the bottom rail. So this will be plus VCC, this will be ground point. Okay. Now I'm going to connect the transistor. So what I will do, I'll connect it like emitter, base and collector, so that it will be easy for my construction. So this is collector, base and the emitter terminal. So collector, base and emitter, I have left one whole gap between each terminal so that there will be no internal short. So next we'll connect the circuit diagram. So to start with, we'll start with 56 kilo ohms. So 56 kilo ohms is connected between base and plus VCC. So 56 kilo ohms. So green, blue and orange is the color code. So from base to plus VCC, so you can see this is the base terminal of the transistor. This is plus VCC. So base to plus VCC. Next is next is 33 kilo ohms, which is connected between base and ground. So this is the base terminal and here is the ground terminal, base to ground, second connection. Next is RC. So RC value is how much? It is 4.7 kilo ohms. That should be connected between plus VCC and collector. So plus VCC and the collector, I am connecting the next resistor, that is 4.7k, and last one is 5.6 kilo ohms, that should be connected between emitter and ground. So emitter is here, so this is emitter and then it is connected to ground. So I'll explain the circuit once again. So plus VCC, ground, collector, base and emitter. From collector I have connected RC, whose value is 4.7k. So this is this one is RE, which is equal to 5.6k. Next, this is R1 and R2. R1 is 56k and R2 is 33k. Then you turn on the power supply, then check the voltages for DC conditions. So once I check the DC condition, you know what value you should get. VCE should be around 6 volts or around 5 volts, and VBE should be around 0.6 volts. Now I am going to check VCE. It is collector to emitter voltage. This is collector and this is emitter. You can observe how much value you are getting. It is around 5.04 you are getting. This is VCE. Expected is around 5, you are getting it, right? Next you need to measure VBE. So this is emitter, this is base. So we expected 0.6, so we are getting it. 0.6 volts we are getting it, right? So that means the circuit is perfect and it will definitely amplify the signal whatever we are giving at its input, right? So now we'll continue the remaining part of the circuit. Now what we did is measuring DC conditions, then you need to write this here. Okay, so that is DC conditions, plus VCC value is around 12 volts. VB what we got is around 0.6 and VCE is 5.0 something, 4 volts. So after measuring it, turn off the power supply and continue with remaining part of the circuit. Remaining part is we have only constructed the divider by voltage divider network. So you are left out with the remaining thing, that is we need to apply the input voltage using capacitors, and we need to collect the bypass capacitor and also the output coupling capacitor. And you know how to see the value of the capacitor, no? So whichever the terminal which is longer, which is positive, shorter is negative, or you can see this negative terminal, right? Once you see this negative terminal, this is the negative, right? Now to the circuit, if you observe, we'll connect input coupling capacitor. Input coupling capacitor is from base to input. So see here, there is, I have left a whole gap for connecting the capacitor. So I need to connect negative to base and positive to the input of your function generator. So negative I am connecting to the base terminal and positive I am connecting here. To this point I am going to connect input of your function generator. That we will do later. Okay. Next is output coupling capacitor. That is also again 1 microfarad. If you observe, positive is connected to collector, negative is connected to the output. So positive here. So I will take the positive terminal and I am connecting it to the collector terminal here. Collector, and this is the positive of your capacitor is connected to the collector, negative is connected to the output. And last one is your bypass capacitor, should be connected from where to where? Emitter to ground. So this is emitter terminal, see here. So this is emitter terminal, from there I am connecting it to the ground. So now circuit is done. Next is we need to connect the function generator and the CRO output, right? So let's connect the function generator. Please observe where I am connecting it. So this is positive. Positive should be connected to input coupling capacitors, positive. So we have left a gap here. See this one. Positive. The other terminal should be connected to the ground. Done. Next, we need to connect one more resistor. That is the load resistor part. That is should be connected from negative of the capacitor to ground at the output, across which we need to connect the CRO. Fine. So this is about the circuit diagram and function generator. At last we need to go with the CRO connections. Now coming to CRO. So coming to CRO, channel 1 should be at 20 millivolts, channel 2 should be at 1 volt. So I am going to change it now. So please see. So this is 20 millivolts and output should be kept at how much value? It is 1 volt per division. Okay, this is the readings. Now we'll connect the CRO to the circuit. Now this is channel 1, which is used to display the input signal. So input signal is connected between the capacitor and ground. So I am connecting between the same 2 points. So positive is connected to the input and negative is connected to the ground, right? Similarly the output part. So output should be measured across the load resistor. So negative is here and positive should connect it to the capacitor end. So this is the circuit. You can have a closer look at it. Right? Now we'll go ahead and we'll settings of your function generator I am going to tell you. So the 40 decibels should be in. Fine. Then vary the amplitude variable and fix your input so that it should cover only one division. Okay. See here, now I fixed channel 1 to 20 millivolts. I am adjusting the input. Fine. So you are getting the input. So input is, now if you observe, it is covering one division. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.81 into 20 millivolts. It is 20 millivolts. The value of input is 20 millivolts. Now I have fixed the frequency to say around 2 kilohertz to check whether the circuit will work or not. So for 2 kilohertz, for the input that is applied to this circuit, we are actually getting the output, right? So we will adjust the wave and we will measure the output voltage. Okay. Now if you see the input, it is covering one division into 20 millivolts. It is 20 millivolts. So output, if you observe, It is covering how many divisions? It is covering 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and it is between 0.6 and 0.8. So it is 0.7 into, we are measuring the signal at channel 2. So it should be into 1 volt. So 0.7 into 1 volt. So input is 20 millivolts. Output is 0.7 volts. So the circuit is performing amplification. Then what you can do, vary the frequency, this frequency from 100 hertz till 1 megahertz, and in each case you should measure the output voltage in the manner that I told you, right?